What's going on, guys? This is just a quick little comparison video between two pistols that I think are basically in the same class of pistols at around the same price. So on the right here we have the P07, and this is the Duty Mark 1, so it's like the first gen of the P07 Duty series. Let's go ahead and safety check that, and as you see, it's nice and empty. And the FNP 9mm. So this is the first gen of the FN polymer frame pistols. You know, they've switched over to the FNS and the FNX at this point. And so we'll go ahead and safety check this one. And I don't know if you can see that, but that's an A-Zoom snap cap. I like to practice with this pistol. It's pretty much my mainstay go-to pistol. And I've kind of got them set up in the same way with the fiber optic front sights on both. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and weigh them. Okay, so they're virtually the same size. Maybe the CZ is a little bit shorter, but not by much. It's not anything noticeable. So I'm gonna break out the scale, and we're gonna weigh these handguns just to see which one's lighter. I don't know if that makes a difference for you or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and get them weighed in. So first up, CZ with no magazine, 1 pound, 7.6 ounces. So that's not too bad. And now for the FN, which still has a snap cap in it, but we'll weigh it. .66. So the FN is slightly lighter. I mean, if you're counting 2 ounces as a deal breaker, then you know what? Maybe you need to start working out or something like that. But they're both hammer fired pistols, and so that's just generally what I favor. I know a lot of guys are switching over to this striker fired business, but you know, I like my guns to have a traditional hammer on it. That's just my thing. As far as the standard magazines go with either of the pistols, you're looking at 16 rounds. See if I can get that in frame. But they're 16 round mags for the FN, bright stainless finish, and you're looking at 16 rounds for the CZ P07 Duty. I don't know if that's picking it up very well, but they're both 16 round capacity. So, you know, the magazine capacity is the same on either, but there is an advantage of running the CZ P07 because you can only find the FN made magazines, which are not cheap. These are $44.95 from FN USA. I mean, you're not going to find them any cheaper unless you're buying them used. So you're stuck with one manufacturer. Luckily, they give you 3, but I bought 5 extra. You know, that's just like I like to roll. With the CZ, you get just 2 magazines. But the good thing about the CZ P07 Duty is their magazines are made by Mechgar, which this one is for a CZ compact. So it only holds 14 rounds, but the gun will function with this mag, which is awesome. And you can find these mags for about between $15 and $20 a piece, whereas if you get the legit CZ mag, which doesn't say Mechgar on it, but it's, to me, essentially a Mechgar mag, they want $44 just like the FN. So, you know, you got a little bit of an option on your magazine choice from CZ. If you don't mind the base plate hanging down a little bit and losing 2 rounds, you can roll the Metgar made ones. So it's a good option. It also takes the 19 round mag of the P09, which I do own. So if I want to run 19 round mags in the CZ P07, they work just fine. So, you know, locks out and everything. So it's good stuff. Other than that, let's talk about the finishes on each gun. You kind of have like basically a parkerized finish on the CZ P07, whereas the FN has pretty much a nicer finish. I mean, it's hard to scratch the finish on this FNP, and it's a great pistol. As far as the takedowns, the FN has a better takedown. Oh, sorry about that. So you eject this snap cap there. You lock the slide out, and you rotate this one lever, and release the slide. And then so you get to see the inside of the slide there. It's got a captured recoil spring. The barrel is noticeably thinner than on the CZ P09. Look at the barrel thickness. It's a pretty big difference, but I haven't had any trouble shooting the FN at all, really. So I'll go ahead and do the takedown on the CZ real quick. Lock it back, do like that. Awesome. Decock it. And so with the P07, it's traditional CZ75. So what you're going to do is you have 2 little check marks at the rear of the slide here. I just go ahead and I get them like so. I take my magazine, take the corner of it, pop it out, pull out the slide stop, and just press it off. And so this one also has a captured recoil spring. Not too much different than the FN. The FN's a little bit nicer quality, but there's nothing wrong with the CZ P07 Duty. Not at all. Now, the price point between each pistol, you're looking, I bought this one for, I think it was $425, whereas the CZ or the FN was $525. So there was a $100 difference, but you do get 3 mags over the 2. So that could be a deal breaker. As far as accessories, well, I changed out both front sights. So there are accessories for both of these guns still available out there on the market. You also have options with holsters. So this is my FN holster of choice. I like the paddle style. And or not paddle, but you know, outside the waistband pancake Kydex. And here's the one for my CZ P07, which also works for my P09. And so you both have good holster options for either firearm. As far as accuracy goes, I don't have a whole lot of targets with me that well, I've got a lot of targets. I just didn't mark them all, put it that way. So I'm just going to roll out a couple of targets for you. And so this one's 6.6 2014 CZ P07 Duty at 7 yards standing. And there's my group. It ain't the greatest, but it's serviceable. You know, they are what they are. Now, let me pull out the FN target. This is also at 7 yards. And so, you know, that's how it's printing for me. Not terrible, but not the greatest, but certainly capable of you know, putting in service for you. I got 2 more targets here. This is 3/14, 2014. And so 7 yards standing, hitting a little high with it. There's the CZ P07. up on the top. It's got a decent little group there, and there's the FN standing. I mean, they're putting roughly the same type of groups. Here's another, my last target I'm going to roll in here. This is also from the same day. CZ on the left at 7 yards sitting. And it's got a respectable group. The FN's group is looking a little bit better sitting. And there's another little FN group. So, in all reality, the guns are really printing about the same. They're both, they're both good, high-quality pistols. If you can swing the extra 100, I would probably lean towards the FN. But this gun is kind of older now, so you can find it on the used market, as well as this one, because, obviously they went into the CZ non-duty marked guns. They got a better finish and whatnot. And so this, the CZ is very comparable. It has the same performance. It's just a little bit cheaper. You just don't see, at least in my area, that the CZs as much as you do the FNs. So I think these are both really good options for just every type of need that you would need out of a medium-sized handgun. They're good for defensive. You could carry both of these concealed. They shoot like bigger guns. They're relatively both lightweight. I mean, the FN is definitely lightweight, and this is only 2 ounces more. So they're both, good lightweight handguns. There's a lot of accessories. They point and shoot pretty naturally. Comfortable grips, same capacity on the magazines. So, I like this size handgun, comparable to a Glock 19. They're both just good quality. So that's just a quick little comparison. Both guns are good, high-quality pistols that will give you years of service like they have me. So if you can find one for the low, especially used, don't be too afraid to go ahead and pull the trigger and pick one up. I've seen these guns going used for about $300, and they're worth every damn penny that you would pay for it. So other than that, you guys take it easy and enjoy the enjoyment.